I'm Adam Marchat Wincott. I was formerly an officer in the Royal Artillery, and then I transferred in 2004 to the Adjutant General's Course, Staff and Personnel Support, where I did my last 5 years of service. And I left in 2010 and have been working with Mission Motorsport since 2013. James and I were at Staff College together back in 2007 and found a mutual love of cars. And when there was a full day of lectures, we would skive off and go and do skids instead. Not very responsible. Initially, I'm not even sure I had a job title. Part of my role was working with Recovery Career Services, which had been set up at the beginning of 2013, which was an organisation that was specifically set up by the MOD and funded by charities to help those with the greatest barriers, with the greatest barriers to employment, to help them find employment and vocational opportunities. And at that point, Mission Motorsport had 8 of the 13 sort of testimonials and exemplars of how we were putting people into employment were things that actually largely Jim had done, and then subsequently I took over that mantle. The wounded, injured and sick community are those that with the greatest barriers to employment. So by virtue of their condition, be that physical or mental, they are the people that struggle the most, engaging with civilians, engaging with employees, with articulating what they do, what they can do, articulating the skill sets they bring from the military, and how you translate those into something that a civilian employer will understand. Beneficiaries come to us from all sorts of different angles, and they go on a journey. The start point of that journey and the end point of that journey are undefined, I think, in both cases almost. Perhaps the start point, you could say, is the first time they come and engage with us in some sporting activity, but quite often and increasingly their first point of contact with us is some sort of vocational opportunity, like an insight day into industry or an insight day at Mission Motorsport. And then we take them on a journey. We try to engage them and show them the opportunities that are out there and try and keep their head above water with the sporting stuff, because the sporting stuff is cool, isn't it? The sporting stuff is what keeps people engaged, keeps them coming back for more. If you said to somebody, come on, we'll take you on an insight day every month, and the first one's going to be at Johnson & Johnson, and then we're going to go to L'Oreal, and then we're going to go to a manufacturing plant in Portsmouth, and then we're going to go to Wrexham, you'd struggle to recruit people. But if you do it on the back of some sporting activity, it's much easier to sell, because you develop a degree of trust with individuals, and they come to understand that what you're offering is really quite valuable. That journey can be really quite profound in some people's cases, and actually it doesn't need to be a job at the end of it. It can be an opportunity. It's a reason to get people off the sofa, a reason to come and do something, to engage. If it does result in a job, and it does lead to something really special, an opportunity that is comparable in military terms, it's got an identity to itself, there's a purpose to it, it's going to be engaging, it's something a little bit unique, there's something special about it, and it's something that somebody can be really proud of, then I think you're onto something really positive. If we just put people into jobs as drivers with a global logistics company, or we put them into jobs as manufacturing on a production line, that doesn't have any of those facets to it. So they will ultimately, or greater probability that they'll fail than they would if you put them into something that reflects former military service. With the notion of family with Mission Motorsport, when I talk to groups of individuals, groups of soldiers, groups of veterans, whoever, about the sense of fellowship, of community, of family that they had when they were serving, that sense of identity, that sense of pride and belonging to a particular cap badge, be that a Fusilier or a rifle soldier or a Royal Logistics Corps soldier or a Royal Artillery soldier, it doesn't matter. They have pride in their cap badge, and that sense of family is engendered in that cap badge. When you leave, you lose all of that. And I think that with Mission Motorsport, there's the opportunity to rediscover that and find somewhere that has like-minded people and a sense of belonging that I don't know why or how it's become quite so powerful, but I think it's really effective. And people can sign up to it and go, I'm part of Mission Motorsport and I'm proud to be part of Mission Motorsport. And I've heard lots of guys say that it's now like being in that family again. And that makes me immensely proud. It's incredible.